Right, today I want to unbox and review this refurbished iPhone 13 I recently got for my brother because he was in the market for a new phone and he was not interested in the 15s. He wanted to save as much cash as possible, so from an iPhone 11, the 13 is still a decent upgrade, and the refurbished 13 on Apple's site actually got a discount shortly after the 15 released, and so I thought, hey, why not unbox this for the channel, because I'm sure there's many of you guys wondering, those refurbished devices seem a little too good to be true, because the discount is major. This is a lot cheaper than a new device, and also Apple says they replaced the outer housing, the battery, the display, so basically everything except the motherboards. And so is it really that good? Or is Apple conning everyone? Well, let's delve into the box. And by the way, would like to remind you guys, like this video and subscribe for more content like this. It would be appreciated. Now, I do want to say this is not my first time using Apple Refurbished. The MacBook Air I still use to this day is from the Apple Refurbished store, and that was brand new. There were no issues. So my experience so far has been fantastic, but of course, let's see how a refurb iPhone is. So pretty simple packaging, as you can see, very similar to a regular iPhone box, except you don't have the graphic of the iPhone on the front. It just says iPhone 13 and then certified pre-owned. Now on the back we have the pull tabs, usual stuff. So yeah, let's unbox this. Ooh. They're definitely as satisfying as regular pull tabs. And now let's get into the box. Ooh. And there we go. There it is. iPhone 13. On first glance, there is a bit of dust on it, but in terms of the condition, yeah, this looks brand new. Pretty good. Obviously in the box we have the usual stuff. So we have a USB-C to lightning cable and the usual pamphlets and the very glorious Apple sticker that I definitely will be sticking somewhere. But yeah, putting this away, let's get into the actual device. So let's take the protective film off the front and see how the display is. Can you guys hear that? Oh, very nice. So here it is, the display, and that once again looks pristine. Not a single scratch. There are dust particles on it, so clearly it's been in storage for a while, but the condition itself is, yeah, brand new basically. Very, very good. Now, let's test the actual device, see how the battery health is, because obviously Apple does claim these phones get new batteries, but let's actually see if that's the case. So powering this on. Here we go. Also, let's see if the OLED's actually a decent OLED and has no issues. But so far, very solid experience, and boom, there we go. Looks pretty fine to me. If anything, coming from a 14 Pro, the bezels on the 13 seem a little thicker, but that's not to do with the refurbished experience. The phone itself is fantastic condition-wise, so yeah, really have no issues. So let me set this up off camera for you guys, and then we'll get into the battery health. So if you're wondering if Face ID works on this phone, we can test that right now. Boom. Works perfectly. So we have finally set the phone up. I've skipped a ton of things because I just want to see the battery health on this and confirm if it is, yep, 100%. There we go. So I'm pretty happy for £500. This is a fantastic deal. So yes, I can highly recommend refurbished iPhones. I think Apple does refurbish the best because it is truly a like new device. In fact, to most consumers, it looks brand new. Anyways, let me use this phone for a few hours and I'll give you guys any updates. So I've been using this refurbished iPhone 13 for a few hours now, and guys, there's not much for me to add here because it's undoubtedly in fantastic condition after me thoroughly inspecting the device, and there's been no issues so far when it comes to regular usage. So yes, as I said, you can buy from Apple in confidence. Talking about the iPhone 13 itself, I really feel like this has become the best value iPhone in 2023 because as much as I like the iPhone 15, the savings here with the refurbished iPhone 13 are massive. My brother paid £509 for this, And for a device that's basically in brand new condition, that is a terrific price because the 13 still offers the core essentials of what makes a great smartphone. The display, for example, is 90% of the same experience you get with the iPhone 15. The only thing it lacks is brightness because while it's fine indoors, it can struggle outdoors, but barring that, this has OLED, so colors are vibrant, it has great viewing angles, and the contrast ratio is excellent. It's 6.1 inches, which I feel is just right for most consumers. And yeah, I really have nothing to massively complain about. It has a very solid display and 60Hz is a non-issue, guys. Yes, I said that. Deal with it. Performance-wise, once again, I couldn't tell a huge difference between this and the iPhone 15 I've been testing. The motherboard is technically the only used part about this refurbished iPhone, but I've had zero issues. It runs like a champ, guys, and for most people's needs, A15 and 4 gigs of RAM is still plenty fine. Cameras here also very solid. The 12 megapixel main can still produce very impressive shots. Video is excellent. The selfie camera is fine, and while I do wish the ultra-wide here was not as soft and had macro support like its Pro counterparts, I ultimately can't complain about what I'm getting here considering this is a very affordable phone right now. You probably won't find an Android phone that does so many things well cameras wise, and yes, I know you can find Pixels at around the same price, but their strength is really only in photography. The video in Pixels is nowhere as good as the iPhone. You also get excellent cinematic mode and portrait modes, and so yeah, the iPhone is very much an all-rounder. Battery life has also been great in my preliminary testing. Now I have used the iPhone 15 and 14 more extensively, and those phones gave me 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, so expect similar numbers with the 13, and also remember there is a new battery inside with these refurbished iPhones. It really is basically brand new. Also, another small thing I do want to mention, a big positive in a way for the iPhone 13 is the fact it has lightning. And you're probably very confused right now, how is this ancient port a positive? Well, I did see some comments in my previous iPhone 15 videos saying that USB-C necessarily isn't an upgrade because when you have a plethora of lightning cables, they now all become redundant with this new port. And that's a fair point, I can't lie. Yes, techies want a USB-C, all the things, but regular consumers likely just want to continue using the charger they have right now, and so that's another reason to consider this refurbished iPhone. I'll probably do a more in-depth review on the iPhone 13 specifically in the near future, so look out for that. But coming back to the refurbished experience, guys, I recommend all of you to definitely consider these products when making your next big Apple purchase. You're really not missing out on much. The box might say pre-owned, but these are practically brand new devices. And fun fact, if you get a replacement device via AppleCare, those are actually refurbished devices as well. So the fact that Apple feels they're good enough to replace your brand new iPhone should tell you how good the condition is. These are an excellent way to save some cash on your next Apple purchase. And I know some may be wary of going refurbished. I've definitely had some mixed experiences with third-party companies in the past where they would claim it's like new, but it definitely isn't. It's more like this phone was run over by a truck multiple times. And so yes, I understand why many might be skeptical, but I've shopped with Apple Refurbished 3 times now and every device has been flawless. And so while they do charge a little more compared to other refurbished programs, it's worth paying the extra because the condition is basically brand new. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.